You can also now watch Packard Pokes At on Atheism TV at youtube.com/atheismtv and, as always, on youtube.com/Packard Pokes At. Come to the live show and chat with us on Friday nights at 9 p.m. Central Time on vonlive.tv/Packard Pokes At. See you there!
Do you really like Packard Pokes At and want to promote the show? Then go to cafepress.com/Packard Pokes At. There are hundreds of items available, including hats, shirts, hoodies, and so much more. Every purchase from cafepress.com/Packard Pokes At helps support the show. Your Packard Pokes At coffee mug is waiting for you.
Do you want to stream Packard Pokes At on your iPhone or BlackBerry? Download Stitcher free today at Stitcher.com. Stitcher Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio.
You're on in 3, 2, 1.
This is Packard Pokes At, and I'm poking at your news. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another fine edition of Packard Pokes At. I am your immutable and unmutable host, Packard Sonic. And joining me tonight from the far East Coast is Crystal Says So.
Good evening, sinners. Glad to see you guys back.
Yes, we're glad to be back. And joining us from the far West Coast is Connie Practical Magic.
Let me look at my calculations. Here it is. Breach hull, all die. Even had it underlined.
Is anything like Control-Alt-Delete? I don't know.
I suppose so.
All right, well, we have another nice short show for you tonight, so let's get going for our first story for this evening.
Building a better future, science and technology.
Out in Utah, there is a man, he has a serious case of OCD. And OCD, if you don't know what it means obsessive compulsive disorder. It is so bad, it's actually disabling. He cannot work, can't have a relationship, things like that. Instead of trying to give him drugs, because most patients, and there's only about 100 of them here in the United States, or worldwide rather, that have OCD so bad that even medication can't help them. So what they did was they implanted wires into his brain, and it sends electroneural shocks to parts of his brain, so it basically stops this disorder from happening. So the guy can actually function and have a normal life. The article here was saying that the battery ran down. The OCD came back so bad within about 12 to 24 hours that it's a good lesson for him to show that, hey, make sure you keep this battery charged up. Otherwise, the symptoms will return. Crystal, your thoughts?
This is a really fascinating study, and an early study as far as treating people with severe OCD. This is a 37-year-old veteran that suffered from quite severe OCD, and it sounds like really some other problems too, occasionally paranoid, and like you said, can't hold a job, can't have a meaningful relationship. And they're doing this deep brain stimulation with the electrodes, and he was in control of this and controlling the voltage and the amount that he got. And it did alleviate his symptoms to where he could go on to volunteer. He could, he got married. And that's really just, it's fascinating science for one thing. So according to the International OCD Foundation, 1 in 100 adults, or that's roughly about 2.3 million people in the United States alone, have OCD. That's roughly the same number of people that are living in Houston, Texas. Now, I think also there's 1 in 200 children, which is about 500,000 kids in the United States too, teens and kids. I think with this study, what I found the most fascinating about it was not only how effective this treatment was, but also that they did the genome sequencing here, a complete genome sequencing that, was able to tell this guy other health problems that he had.
Really?
And then he came back something like with 3 gene variants that's been associated in other studies with neuropsychotic illness. So they also received genetic counseling post-test. Like, it also revealed he had cataracts and night blindness, things that you can see this going down the road for just prevention, maybe even for troops. This was a really good thing with the soldiers, maybe finding out who may have problems before they go to war. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And Connie found this story. This is a great story, Connie.
Yes, it was.
Oh, thank you.
The part here I was reading where it says the battery actually had just ran down, that's when the OCD would start returning. Connie, your thoughts?
Oh yeah, no, that was really interesting, Packard, because within 12 to 24 hours, the patient, when his battery was running down, he was debilitated. But the real key is the genome sequencing, which, I mean, I found the story, but it was so over my head with all of this medical terminology. But the mapping of the genome is really very interesting. They found at least 3 gene variants or alleles that have been associated with other studies with psychiatric illnesses. Mm-hmm. And when they went to the Veterans Administration, they said, well, we don't have any way to, make a note of this. All of this research, and they weren't able to transfer it, So it was speaking to the real need of us to, I think, our medical system to be more in line with each other. Mm-hmm. So, because they can do all this research, but if they can't transfer it, then what good is it? So
right. Yeah, I was just want to add on something to what Crystal said here, or actually something I said actually. It says here the other gene variants that found that have implications for the way that the patient is either able or unable to metabolize particular kinds of drugs. So
because you can specifically find out which kind of drugs will be most effective. Exactly. I mean, I'm sorry that there were so many subjects that popped up with this.
There
was.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good one.
Yes, I misread it. I thought that because some people can't metabolize the proper drug, so it wasn't helping to affect the treatment there.
Right. No, but it's true. I mean, if people can't, if a certain drug would be more effective, that's really important.
Yes, it was. Any last thoughts on this, anybody?
Fascinating stories.
Yes, it is. Okay, let's get on to our next topic for this evening.
It's the Onion Radio News.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Do you work for the government? Are you a woman? If you are, and you're getting a little frustrated, or a lot frustrated, then you should go to a company that's giving away, and I'm not kidding about this, they're giving away free vibrators. I have no idea what one has to do with the other, but the company, it's called vibrators.com. Yes. And be sure you clear your browsing history afterwards. If you go to that website, the vibrators.com website, they're giving away as many 200 sex toys daily. They claim there's over 20,000 vibrators on the market, and they chose, the best, 350. So if you work for the government, they will ship you a free vibrator. Apparently, it says here that they will not verify that if you are working for the government. So if you go out there and go to buy one, you could just claim you work for the government. But they said that if you don't work for the government and you get one of these things, they'll say, well, karma will get any non-government employee who exploits the offer. Not that, I believe in karma to begin with, so I greatly encourage any female or anybody that wants one of these free vibrators, go and do it. And they said they'll even keep doing this offer as long as the government shut down, even if it goes until December.
We love you long time. Is that what they're saying?
Love you long time. Crystal, your thoughts?
I love this story. It's my favorite one, I think, of the year. The only thing I have a bone, pun intended, to pick with these people is it's only a 5-inch pink vibrator. Come on.
Well, they said that what you can
size
do
does matter, people. Okay.
I've heard that's the average size, Crystal.
You want one of those big monster ones about this long.
Okay, so
you can hang it across those kind of Crystal, those big ones. You don't use those. You put those up on the wall and you mount those like a fish.
Actually, I use mine as knickknacks on the table. Whatever's your choice. It's yours. This was really interesting.
Here's my coffee table books, and there's my coffee table vibrators.
That's right. Pretty good. Dildos vibrators are always funny. Vibrators.com is the website. Mm-hmm. They're giving away as many as 200 sex toys a day. And I've got a message. Michelle Bachman, you need one. website.
She needs a lot of them. She keeps losing them. She keeps throwing them in there.
And actually, yes, your husband, I'll send him too. This is so funny because Tim Nardone is the president, and he said that they were trying to come up with ways to help out during this government shutdown because he said who was getting stiffed the most. Ha ha ha. The government employees. And so they said they originally were brainstorming and they were thinking of the giveaways, and the idea of the penis pumps for senators, like that was mixed, and all of the deals for enemas. I mean, they were trying to come up with
I would rather have gone with the enema for the...
I personally think they should have stuck with the enemas because we know that everybody in that Senate is full of shit.
It's all backed up.
It's all backed up. It's just a train wreck. But this was a really cute offer, and again, like you said, they're going on the honor system. Mm-hmm. So all of us work for the government.
Yes, we do. So everybody go out to vibrators.com and go get a vibrator right now.
I've got mine.
Buzz.
There you go.
Connie, your thoughts.
So is Karma a toy that they sell?
No, they're just
one named Karma. Oh no, okay.
No, just go after all those non-government employees who are taking advantage of our free vibrator offer.
Well, the other thing that they mentioned on there was something about how they sell pubic wigs, and I was like, all I could think of was Disco Stew. I'm going, what? Anyway,
Joe apparently, I just want to break in here. Joe ordered 6 of them, and he's ordered them under different names, and he shipped them all to my house. Thank you, Joe. They'll come in handy. I'll put those all. I'll make a big collage out of them. None.
You have such a special relationship there.
I know we do.
But I would have to say
it's a hard relationship. He's all the way in New York,
I would have to say that if the shutdown does run until December, then Boehner might want to find himself the unwanted tester for a gag and a plug. So,
yeah, Boehner needs one too.
I think so. I think he needs a really big plug.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
I don't know.
Match his skin.
Yeah. But you know what was
interesting? Club guy he hangs with. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, what was interesting on this particular page is that they actually have pictures of some of the ancient vibrators, from the early days. One looked like something you'd see
it looked like a pneumatic hammer.
Yeah. The first picture here, it looks like something you would see, like they had the original old screw drill.
Yes.
I actually had one of those screw drills, and that's exactly what it is, just a hand drill. And
I saw one of those when I worked in a cabinet shop. An employee brought one in because we had a power outage, and he says, we can use this. And yeah, that is exactly what that looks like.
My daughter also said one looked like an egg beater too, so I was like, it's very interesting to say the very least. But yeah, if you're getting tired of being screwed by the government and you need a vibrator, go to vibrators.com before they... I don't think... They're giving away about 200 a day, so your chances might be pretty good. Anyway. Else have any...
while they're hot.
Yeah, grab them while they're hot and vibrating. But anyway... All right, let's get on to our next topic for this evening.
Don't know much about history. Don't know much biology. Don't know much about a science book.
And tonight we're going to be talking about Halloween myths. Last week we talked about good luck Halloween myths, and this week we're going to talk about some bad luck Halloween myths. Apparently on Halloween, if you see, I'm just going to give you a couple and we'll discuss the rest here in a few minutes. If you see a white cat on Halloween, you'll have bad luck. Or if you put your shirt on inside out, it's bad luck. Well, I think putting your shirt on inside out is kind of just bad luck altogether, especially if you got pins on the outside and then you just keep running into shit. So well, we're going to set the timer up here. There it is. And we're going to start the timer now. Connie, your thoughts?
Yeah, there's a lot of strange myths. Looking over your left shoulder and seeing a new moon is a bad luck myth, or hearing an owl hoot 3 times.
I couldn't understand. I wouldn't understand why you wouldn't. You can't see a new moon anyway. It's a new moon. It's technically it's dark, I mean,
Yeah,
if you're,
yeah.
and most of the times on Halloween, every Halloween ever, it snowed. So the chance of seeing a new moon, a moon or new or old, it's kind of stupid. And why not over the right shoulder? What's it with the left shoulder?
I don't know. I wasn't able to discern that. And bad luck coming in threes is the myth that my mother always said, bad luck comes in threes. And it wasn't until after I had deconverted that I realized, oh, wait, if something bad happens and you hear, oh, bad luck comes in threes, you're expecting it to happen. You're counting. And I realized, well, yeah, but if you started counting good luck things, then it would be just as likely. But 3 is one of those numbers that magically, and 3 and 13, there's some numbers that have some kind of meaning because we've attached it to them. I don't know. I mean, for myself, I look at it and I think that I realized afterwards that, praying is actually kind of a luck thing. When something bad happens, you start praying for somebody and you want that, or you're thinking good thoughts about somebody, and then when they get better you say, well, it's because I prayed or I said something for them or I'm thinking about them.
Right.
So we attach a lot of it. We attach meaning to things because it's superstitious. It's what kept us alive for a long time because we saw some correlation with the superstition and with good or bad things happening.
Yeah, like on this part here, it says if you want to avoid bad luck on Halloween, and these are I'm assuming these are bad things that happen, bad luck you can have on Halloween. It says don't sing before breakfast or cry before dinner. Why?
How random can you be?
How random can you be? As you wake up this morning, I feel like a song.
I would have to say if you're putting in your shirt inside out, you're probably drunk. And you're running out of the house before the husband comes home or something. I don't know. So yeah, you might have some bad luck there.
I suppose that goes to the other one where you say if you get out of bed using the left foot, but that's when you get your running start off of
Exactly.
That's when her husband's coming home. Shit, I gotta go.
Is that bad luck or stupidity? Yes. The answer is yes.
Oh, goodness. Yes.
Okay, Crystal, your thoughts.
I thought it was funny that it was easier to find good luck Halloween myths than it was bad luck Halloween myths, actually. I mean, I had pages of them last week when we did the good luck ones.
Yeah.
I think the funniest one I saw was if you see a spider on Halloween, it could be the spirit of a dead relative watching you.
Really?
Oh, yes. I've killed a bunch of dead relatives.
Maybe it was Spider-Man. He's coming for... No, I'm just kidding.
I love Spider-Man.
Oh, I do, too.
I wouldn't kill Spider-Man.
I wouldn't kill Spider-Man either. He's a man spider. I wouldn't be able to. He just put a web on me. But
That's
anyway.
Right. He's a badass.
Yes. And then it says here, if you hear a crow, or no, the crow of a rooster at night. First of all, roosters generally don't crow at night. As far as I know, I mean, I don't live on a farm. I mean, maybe someone could tell me, maybe the roosters crow all the time. They're just making noise or whatever. I don't know, but
well, they can. But I think
I'm sure they
they're
can.
crowing. It's alerting you that something's happening, like a coyote is. In the neighborhood. So I mean, that would be bad.
Or chicken, coyote, or whatever. Someone's in the hen house. It's usually the daughter with the salesman, travel salesman. Never mind. I don't know. I don't understand where the idea is for if you hear 3 hoots of an owl on Halloween. If you hear and you're like, doesn't usually most owls they have several hoots in a row? I mean, what? I don't understand why people would think that 3 hoots of an owl would.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, some of these things you can trace back, and a lot of it does trace back to the paganistic beliefs. But some of these things are just so random, and I couldn't find really a lot of things to back up why they actually believe that.
Right.
There's
one here that's pretty. It's just pretty obvious. It says, "Don't open it inside of your house or a building an umbrella, or you'll have bad luck all day." Or a bad luck day. And, most people that's just. I would think that one's pretty much any day. For if you're going to have bad luck. I was always heard when I was a kid. He said, "Don't open an umbrella in the house; it's bad luck." Well, I think it's just plain common sense not to open an umbrella in the house, because if you come inside it after it's been raining, you open it up, you're going to get water everywhere. Or you're going to poke someone in the eye.
Thank you. I'm going to say, I'll poke your eye out.
I'll poke your eye out. But there's some really weird stuff that's out here. The white cat one. I mean, most of the time, I think I understand this one here, because most of the times if a black cat crosses your path, you're going to have bad luck. Well, you know what that means when a black cat crosses your path? It means that cat's going somewhere. You just don't know where it is because the cat knows where it's going.
But in Japan, the color white is actually associated with death.
Yes, it is. As a matter of fact.
And I don't know. I don't know what. It didn't say it was associated with Japan, but maybe it's because it's the opposite. Maybe it's because it's ghost-like. I'd never heard that one before in my life.
Yeah, that's where I was going with it. I mean, I could understand why they would say that, because it's it's like opposite day, only for Halloween.
Exactly.
It's a white cat, not a black cat.
He's the Casper cat.
It's a cat. That cat has seen the ghost and it's white. Ah! So. Yeah,
I found another one that was interesting. It's not exactly bad luck, but I mean, in 18th century Ireland, a matchmaking cook might bury a ring, in her mashed potatoes on All Hallows Eve, hoping to bring true love to the person that finds it.
Oh, and that's time.
I just finished.
It's good timing. Yeah, so we're going to continue this series to the rest of the month, for the month of October. But, yeah, there's a lot of weird myths revolving around Halloween, so we're going to cover as many as we can for the rest of the month. So I hope you enjoyed this. And look these things up. I mean, they're crazy. Do we believe it? I don't believe these things. But there's a lot of people out there who believe in good luck or bad luck myths, and there's just happens to be some revolved around Halloween. All right, let's get on to our next topic for this evening.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars.
I love that tune.
I do too.
But tonight we're going to be talking about Keira Knightley. That's Keira Knightly. That's Keira Knightley. She is an English actress and model. She began acting as a child and became internationally noticed in 2002 after co-starring in the film Bend It Like Beckham. Oh, that's a weird... Okay, why Bend It Like Anybody in particular, I guess. In 2003, her appearances from the Pirates of the Caribbean films took her to much more greater predominance. But anyway, she quoted in the April 2012 Interview magazine. Keira Knightley was interviewed by the director and fellow atheist David Cronenberg. She says, "If only I wasn't an atheist, I could get away with anything. You just have to ask for forgiveness, and then you'd be forgiven. It sounds much better than having to live with guilt." The magazine said, "Yeah, you could always lie about being an atheist, but I don't think an atheist could get elected in America right now." And then she goes, "No, I don't think they could either." Oh, of course, on that point, she's actually wrong, because we actually had an atheist in Senate at one point. And she has several other done a lot of movies and things like that. Crystal, your thoughts?
Oh, I love Keira Knightley. I actually like her in the Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, those movies, she was just absolutely awesome actress. But I really did like her in Elizabeth in Pride and Prejudice. I think she made that like around 2005. Mm-hmm. I didn't see, that's the quote that you quoted is really the only one I saw her make. But I did see a lot of kind of humanitarian things that she did do. Sued the Daily Mail in 2007. It was an article by a lady whose daughter had died.
Oh, I see.
From an eating disorder, yeah. And they just kind of associated Keira's picture in a bikini to that article. So,
oh, that's kind of weird. Someone's daughter just died. Hey, let's attach a bikini picture next to it. And it's like, that's kind of strange.
Like I said, she donated that entire amount to the charity. And then in 2009, she did a commercial for Women's Aid that highlights domestic abuse against women. Mm-hmm. The UK censors actually refused to allow its broadcast. And you can only watch it on YouTube, which that's a shame. But
really,
Yeah. And she's done some wonderful things. She's a beautiful lady. Also the face of Chanel's newest fragrance, I think it's Mademoiselle.
Mademoiselle perfume.
Yes. And I really do like her quote though, but I really couldn't find a whole lot of things that she talked about as far as atheism goes. But
but the thing is, at least she says, if I wasn't an atheist, but that means clearly she is.
Absolutely.
Connie, your thoughts?
Oh, I agree with Crystal. I think the first time I really knew that she was who she was, it was through the Pirates of the Caribbean. But at the same time, when I was looking at her biography, she was Padme in Padme's double.
Oh, was she Padme's double?
In the Phantom Menace, the first Star Wars episode, she was to be Natalie Portman's double. She was the dupe, for the princess. And I loved her string of charity work here. I was really interested. Today I went ahead and I was like, okay, can I watch another movie besides like Star Wars or besides the Pirates movies? And I could have watched the whole, or I could have watched Love Actually, and I chose Love Actually, which I probably shouldn't have. She's just pretty much a pretty face of, it's one of those ensemble movies. But I did love her also in the King Arthur movie that she made.
Apparently she had a lead role in performance in Atonement.
Yes, and I was going to say the other one I saw her in was Never Let Me Go. I didn't watch it recently, but I watched it last year. Mm-hmm. And that is a really interesting story where children are actually raised to become organ donors. And it questioned the whole morality of that. It was really a very moving story, and it was hard to watch. It was a very emotional, dramatic movie, but I think that she's not only beautiful, she's very well, it seems like she's very well thought of. I think she picks some interesting things. And as far as anorexia, because she's extremely thin, she's accused of being anorexic, and that is why this family that Crystal mentioned, that's why they went after her.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, because they're saying, her image is inspiring young women to be anorexic, and I'm thinking, well, that's so stupid. You can't blame somebody. It might just be naturally how she looks.
Yeah. But I think a big part of that is a lot of actresses, they take their picture on the cover, and then they take the cover and then they digitally enhance it so they make them look thinner and whatnot. So they may have been accusing her of either that, or they thought that maybe she had anorexia, but she was or bulimic or something.
That was really upstanding of her, though, to go ahead and donate to that cause.
Yes.
So
I agree. Okay, well, if you didn't know, Keira Knightley or Kara? Is it Kara or Kira?
Kira.
Kira.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Kira, just like Kira Nerys. Never mind. Anyway, that's the only way I'm going to remember it is Kira. But anyway, if you're out there, go ahead and watch some of these movies that she's in. And remember, when you're out there, she's an atheist. Okay, that's it for us tonight. If you want to get in contact with us, or if you want to make a donation to the show, go to patreon.com/Packard Pokes At, and if you donate $50, you get a free hat. If you donate $100, you get a free t-shirt, and you donate $200, you get a free sweatshirt. So, and I could really use some donations to help keep the show running, keep the lights on. Otherwise, you'll have to do this in the dark, and nobody wants to see that because you won't be able to see me at all. But if you do want to get in contact, that's why we're going to give you all that information right now.
Would you like to contact us? We can be reached 28 hours a day, 8 days a week as Packard Pokes At on Twitter, and by email at packardpokesat@gmail.com. Your host, Packard Sonic, and his very honored and crazy co-hosts with occasional guest hosts who enjoy your comments or suggestions. You can also listen to the show on iTunes, YouTube, Mixler Radio, and Stitcher Radio. Click the like button on Facebook/Packard Pokes At to join in the conversation. While you're there, don't forget to snap on the Focus on Photography group. Please rate, comment, subscribe, retweet, and repost the show wherever you can. It really helps us out. Please donate whatever you can afford to help keep the show running. Visit packardpokesat.wordpress.com for more information on this or any other episode. We hope you enjoy the show. Thanks for listening and for your support.
And thank you, Joe, even though you're not here. He does a good job
You
with
rock,
that.
Joe.
He rocks with that every time. He just breaks right in here and he does that every time. And it does perfectly the same way.
He hits the mark.
Yes, he does. He hits that mark exactly when I tell him to. Anyway, well, I thank everybody for coming to our short show. We'll be back next week with our regular long show. Until then, this has been Packard Pokes At. We just poked at your news.
And that's a wrap.